so coming in up next, we're bringing this one back home, and this one's going to be have the Chargers found a home in Los Angeles? So I think this one's interesting. I think we each have a pretty interesting perspective in this, in that we do go to UCLA and we do live in Los Angeles, so we kind of see what the city's feeling a little bit. And then also, I of course have to acknowledge my bias here. I have lived in San Diego almost all my life, so I was a Chargers fan, and of course I am still hurt since they left us. So keep that all in mind as I go off here, and there is probably some emotion in this answer. However, I do think it is the correct one regardless.
We're going to hold back the tears for this one, I know.
I know. I just gotta.
Be strong. I'm here for you. So
I need to find my tissues somewhere. Oh man, it's more frustrating than sad. But,
yeah. All right, man, take it away.
Let's see what we got. So, have they found home? I think no. I think there's no way. I think after the Chargers left San Diego, I don't think they've played a single home game since. And as far as a little bit nostalgia, I actually went to their last home game that they've had here in San Diego. It was the last game of the season against the Chiefs, well, at least the last home game here at Qualcomm. So that's something that will forever hold a memory back in my mind, and I do hope that it's not the last time I watch a Charger game in San Diego. But anyway, when thinking about, has a team found home? What does that mean? What does home look like? Well, for me, I think if a team wants to find home, you have to have mainly three main things. One specific to LA. So, firstly, the city has to respect you. Secondly, the city has to know the players. They can't be a nobody. And lastly, particularly for Los Angeles, if you want to succeed as a sports team here in LA, you have to be glamorous. And I think that's something that they don't have. So addressing those points, as far as the city respecting you, LA really doesn't respect the Chargers, mainly because they don't really know them. But walking around LA, you will never really see Chargers jerseys anywhere. It is very peculiar and weird if you see anyone with a Chargers flag or jersey or anything like that. And they really don't even try. I mean, when they had spring training, I believe it was 2 years ago when they had first moved to Los Angeles, I actually went to the Rams training camp that was held at UC Irvine. They had a giant facility set up and everything. And the Chargers, they were stuck behind IKEA, the one that you see going up and down the 5. And that just goes to show that they're not that much respected. And the other one being city has to know the players. No one really knows who's on the Chargers. You never really see Anthony Lynn talking that much in Los Angeles. No one really follows them. Part of them is the demeanor of a lot of the players. Phillip Rivers isn't someone to get in front of a lot of cameras. I know he's not there now, but I'm talking about just the upbringing of the Chargers. And no one really knows who they are. Even the big ones, as far as some of their wide receiving core running backs, they're just not that popular when you compare it to like the Rams, Sean McVay, and just a lot of fame and glamour there, which does bring me to glamour. Chargers are not glamorous in Los Angeles. I think if anyone's going to go to a game, you see celebrities going to football games, they go to Rams games. And I think that has to part of it do with the history of the Rams in Los Angeles prior to even St. Louis. They were still there. And they are kind of seen as LA's team. That's where all the celebrities go. That's where you want to go watch them. Of course, they did play in a better stadium and everything like that. But I think for those reasons, I don't think there's any way the Chargers could play a home game there. For one, they're getting booed almost every single game, and there's chance for the other team. So I think that just goes to show that there's no way they've found home.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you that I don't think they've played a home game since they've moved. But I credit a lot of that to where they were playing. The StubHub Center is a soccer field. It seats barely 30,000 people, which is basically half of most professional football stadiums. So you're already at a competitive disadvantage. Not to mention that their counterparts, the Rams, were in the Coliseum, which is massive. And so that they're already at a disadvantage. And I think with this new team that they have a new young quarterback in Justin Herbert, who I think has immense upside. They have Joshua Kelly. They're building that LA roots. UCLA running back. Obviously, we both got to see Joshua Kelly play.
Yes.
Going to be an incredible back. He's very talented. So I think we're going to have to wait. I think we're going to have to wait and see how this new development is with their new stadium. Incredible stadium, by the way. And I genuinely think it's going to be also based off the team's success. I don't think the Rams are going to be very good this year. I'm not going to rule them out as a competitive team, but I don't think they're the best team in their division. I don't think I genuinely would not bet on them making the playoffs. I think they lost their best running back, obviously Todd Gurley. They lost arguably their best wide receiver in Brandon Cooks. And so already right there, their offense took a major hit. I don't trust the reliability of Jared Goff. So I'm interested to see their success. And I think I'm not going to say that the Chargers are going to be good this year. I haven't seen Justin Herbert play at the professional level, so I can't promise you that. But they have talent. They also have Tyrod Taylor, who's
Tyler sounds good.
yeah, he's a
Tyrod Taylor's
consistently
good
underrated
yeah.
quarterback. So, they're going to have a quarterback battle, which is always conducive for success. And not to mention, let's just talk on a very aesthetic level. The new jerseys of the Chargers are arguably the best jerseys in the league. And if we're comparing them to their friends that are going to be sharing their stadium with them, I think the Rams might have just unveiled the worst jerseys in the NFL.
Oh, those were bad.
They're pretty terrible. Yeah. So talk in terms of building a brand, new stadium, new faces of their franchise, new wonderful jerseys. I think they're going to work on developing their brand. If they can find success in the next couple of years, I think they have the chance of usurping that role from the Rams and becoming LA's team. So I'm excited to see this development. I can't promise you it's going to happen. I'm certainly unsure of what's going to happen because we're going to have to see how it plays out. But I wouldn't bet against it. I think they have the pieces in place. I'm not a huge fan of the competency of their ownership.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, the way I see it, like, you make a lot of good points, and I think I'm rather just pessimistic about the whole issue. I think, you talk about, the whole new stadium's being built. I have no assurance in that because they couldn't even fill StubHub. I mean, they had the Chargers banners in the top side, around $30,000 seat stadium, and they couldn't even fill that. And the only time they did is when it was the other team's jersey because they're playing the Patriots, they're playing the Chiefs, they're playing the Raiders. That's the only time they filled it. And you even touched the nail in the head right there when you were talking about the competency of ownership there. And what bothers me so much is that they're not even trying. I think ever since they moved here, it seems so much like Dean Spanos, the owner of the Chargers, just wanted to be in LA and really didn't care about how good the team looked in the eyes of a lot of people from LA. As I said, we see nothing in Los Angeles about the Chargers. And I think the best thing to compare them to is the Clippers. And the Clippers have very competent ownership with Jerry West and, of course, Steve Ballmer as the owner doing a fantastic job. They understand that they are kind of playing that baby brother to the Lakers. And the Lakers can kind of also sort of be compared to the Rams in that, they have the lineage there. But the Clippers are trying. They are advertising everywhere. We live in Westwood, and all the buses that come through, we always see Paul George and Kawhi Leonard on the side and billboards up and down the 5 for these guys. And Steve Ballmer is just hyping up this team, trying to grow that grassroots, just following for the Clippers. And Dean Spanos has done absolutely nothing, putting no money into this or anything like that. So I have no hope there. And honestly, in LA, really you just have to be right in the minds of LA people. You can be good, but still not the most glamorous one. The Clippers are arguably one of the best players or best teams out there, and they're still don't get nearly the following the Lakers do. If there were 7 games in between, a 7-game series between Lakers and Clippers, it'd be 7 home games for the Lakers there. So I think ultimately I'm just not pessimistic about it. I'm hopeful, but at the same time, maybe I want them to do bad because maybe they'll go back to San Diego, but maybe it's a horrible way to think about it. Ultimately, when I think about it, I think we watched the draft together. I was really hoping they were going to get Tua Tagovailoa out of Alabama. Yeah. I think just bringing someone with that kind of spark, and not even so much from a player perspective. I do think he's going to do great things for Miami, but just coming with some amount of fame, some following. I think the Chargers, what they should do is consider one of the veterans that are out there. There's a lot of talk about Cam Newton, and I was someone who thought maybe they should get that on board because ultimately what the Chargers need is they need to get butts in the seat. And I think Cam Newton could do that. Yeah. I think Colin Kaepernick could do that.
Right.
But at the same time, Tyrod Taylor's a good player. And I think he's over 500 since about 2017 or so. So I'm excited to see what they're. I don't know anything about Josh Herbert. I watched a few games of him at Oregon, and I've seen mixed scouting reports on him. Big R, athletic, but as far as a lot of accuracy and stuff, that's yet to be seen. But he's being put in a good situation. The Chargers are a good team.
He certainly has one of the most potent offenses around. He has, and their defense is kind of underrated. Their defensive line is a little suspect, but their secondary is very talented. So we'll have to see. So, but also, they don't have anything to lose. So like what you said, taking a chance on one of those big name quarterbacks that would, even if they don't play them, it just fills seats. I'm one of the people who certainly thinks that Colin Kaepernick needs to be on the roster. I think he's shown that he's better than a lot of people that are on a roster currently.
So I feel with Cam Newton.
No doubt that Cam Newton's better than Colin.
Cam Newton will be on a team within 5 weeks. Someone's gonna get hurt, and he's gonna be the first one to fill. I just can't believe no one's jumped on it yet. Like teams that are in battle.
That he is not a Patriot or a Redskin right now. I think he is better than any quarterback in either of those quarterback rooms. So.
Oh yeah.
He's better than Sam Darnold. Put him on the Jets.
Oh man. No, I'm excited to see what happens. I'm hoping the Chargers make moves because Chargers could be good. They're always somehow sneaky good there. I know you got the Chiefs in the same division, so of course you're probably not going to win the division if I'm being completely honest here. But I think they've got a shot. Good defense with Ingram and Bosa coming off the line, great draft picks. They kind of filled that left tackle issue that they had in the draft.
Erwin James.
Solid. Yep. No, they got some studs on that team. So I'm excited to see what happens there. But it doesn't feel like home, and maybe they're just ready to play 16 away games. So
we'll see.
That's what they're for. I don't know. We'll always root for our boy Josh Kelly, though.
Yeah, Josh Kelly. He's gonna tear it up. So. All right, man. We'll see.